Deen Show. This is the Deen Show. This is the Deen Show. This is the Deen Show.
Bismillah, alhamdulillah, assalamu alaikum, peace be with you. The Deen Show, every week here to help you understand Islam and Muslims, the most misunderstood way of life, except, you know what, it's the most misunderstood, but this is a phenomenon that it is the fastest growing way of life in the world. That's right. We got white Muslims, African American Muslims, Chinese Muslims, and today we got a Latino Muslim coming on the show. His life is like it's like a modern day, it was like a drama, an action-packed movie, and he's here to share his experiences with us. So sit tight, we'll be right back on the Deen Show.
This is the Deen Show. This is the Deen Show. This is the Deen Show. This is the Deen Show. This is the Deen Show. This is the Deen Show. This is the Deen Show. This is the Deen Show. This is the Deen Show. This is the Deen Show. This is the Deen Show. This is the Deen Show.
Assalamu alaikum, peace be unto you.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah.
Puerto Rico, oh, you remember that, huh? How are you, my brother?
Alhamdulillah, good yourself.
Just want to break the ice a little bit. You know?
Mashallah,
You're on
yeah.
the Deen Show. I'm really excited that you're here. Daniel Hernandez?
Correct.
And Abdullah is your name now?
Yes.
Or I mean, this is a myth itself. Let's start off. You don't have to change your name when you become a Muslim, do you?
Correct.
You don't have to do that, do you?
No, I don't.
You don't. I mean, so you're Daniel Hernandez.
Daniel Hernandez.
But people can also call you the Abdullah, the servant of God.
Yes.
Now, you weren't always being called by this name. I mean, let's back it up a little bit. I'm very excited first to have you on the show. You come from a Latino background, Puerto Rican?
Yes, correct.
What's the difference between Colombian, Puerto Rican, Mexican? Well, you speak the same language, right?
We speak the same language, just the dialect is a little bit different. You know, we compete, you know, because of the music as well. You know, they have salsa, we have salsa. And we say it's ours, no, it's ours. And we, you know, there's a little tug of war, you know, historical.
Yeah, but I mean, you can understand each other, right?
Yes, we can, yeah.
How do you say house in Spanish, in Puerto Rican, house?
Casa.
Casa? How about in Puerto Rican?
Same casa. Yeah.
Casa. So it's just little dialects.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, great. So now tell us a little about yourself.
Well, I was raised in a Catholic household. My mother used to be a nun, and she used to be in a convent and teach more than 50 students. And then she decided to leave the convent, and she got married with my dad, and she had us. She brought us up, always very religious. You know, doing the catechism in our own house. Always teaching us to pray before eating, before sleeping, you know, always keeping the remembrance of God. And she also gave us the freedom to choose. She didn't impose life on us. So I was the smallest one of my brothers, and I always like to make the challenging choices.
How many brothers did you have?
I have two more, me and two other brothers.
Sisters also?
No, only
just the two brothers? Okay.
Correct. And then I happen to have a low self-esteem, always trying to just convince myself, you know, because I had the bad experience in some schools where I had a dream and the teacher would tell me, you're not gonna make it, you're not gonna be that.
The teacher would tell you that?
Yes, so it will crush my spirit. And so then instead of...
Why would a teacher say something like that?
You know, I don't, it was, the teacher was teaching in an environment where she's not familiar with.
Yeah.
She's from a different environment, but she will come because it's her profession.
She's kind of bitter also.
You know, and it's like, so what I did, instead of making it easy for her to teach, I made it difficult for her.
Oh, I see. You're a troublemaker now.
So yes, I used to feel guilty about it, but it was something that it hurt me, and then you know, through life, you know, other experiences led me to just make the wrong choices. You know, then I started playing basketball. I started playing basketball in high school, you know, and some of my friends had issues, so they would, before the game, start drinking.
Yeah.
Alcohol and so on. And I would, you know, hesitate because I wasn't into it, but there were some factors that made me say, you know, let me just try it.
Now, how old were you at this time when you're about to have your first sip of alcohol?
Yeah, no, this, I mean, I had tried it before, but
Yeah.
this one was for, I really wanted it. Before I just tried it because it was peer pressure.
Yeah.
You know, but this one was like, I wanted to try it.
Now you want to be, now you're gonna be a man now.
Yeah, like I was like 17 that I wanted to do it.
Yeah.
And it was a slope going down the hill. So we will be in the games intoxicated, and the games turn into chaos.
Yeah.
So I ended up going further than that and saying, you know, I saw that, you know, most of in my community, of the Latinos that I know, you know, they either drop out of school or they're just, you know, working in jobs and not getting a degree. So, I mean, friends that I know. So I felt bad about this. I wanted to be proactive. I said, I want to do something about it. You know, I always liked the inspirational movies. You know, like movies like Malcolm X.
Yeah.
Like in these like the movie South Central, when the guy goes to prison and then, you know, in prison he reforms his life and then comes out to the community, and so I wanted to do something like this. So I started looking here and there, you know, what group, you know, and then I said, okay, you know, this group is towards this ethnicity or this nationality. I became curious, you know, and I wanted to be proactive, so I saw this group and I joined it because I
Now, was this some charitable organization you're talking about, or was this like Change the World organization, or what was this, like
it was a
mafia? What was this?
No, it was named an organization, but really, you know, it was what the media portrayed to be. It was a gang.
Oh, so now when I introduced the show, I said, you know, we're going to talk to this brother whose life was kind of like a, what'd I say, you know, like a live action thriller. So now things get really, I mean, when you're talking about gangs, you got shootings, you got killings, you got drugs. Were you heading down that way? This is where things get exciting?
Yeah, they got crazy. And
tell us a little bit, without going into details, you know, so because there's a lot of people out there that think this is cool. You know, we're part of familia now.
Yeah.
So they think this is the way to go, not knowing that, you know what, you either end up in jail or dead. So we don't want people to go down the direction, so they can connect with you, who are actually high up in the ranks, weren't you? Mm-hmm. And some of the crazy things that were going on.
I mean, well, the most.
Did you ever shot at?
No, I never shot at. I did have.
No, did you ever get shot at?
No, no, I never got shot at. I never shot. I mean, there were times where things were gonna take place, but it was something that I had the feeling I wanted to do it just because I was loyal, but somehow it never went down. And you know, I know that there, you know, within the organizations there were people that I had a friend who was very educated, but by the qadr of Allah, you know, the destiny of Allah, he happened to be raised without a father in a shelter.
Yeah.
But when he was in high school, he was a valedictorian.
Yeah.
But he ended up in the streets. So now, you know, he's supposedly my brother in this group, and he needed a place to stay, so I told him to stay in my house.
Yeah.
You know, but there were things that happened, you know, I'm going to say things that happened in 1 year span. And this is where there's that turn where I come in contact with Islam.
Let's hold right there. That's saying we got to go to a break.
Okay.
Hold your place. We'll be
Of
right
course.
back. Inshallah. God willing. Sit tight. We're back with more here on the Deen Show.
I just want to say, very simple. message.
He is the maintainer.
One of the beautiful things about our religion of Islam is the emphasis on direct ritual and prayer to God directly. There is no intermediary.
The lights will go on after the party, and the party will end.
It's very simple and very clear. There are no superstitious rituals, no strange incantations.
Time is running out. We might not make it till tomorrow, and this is something that we need to think about.
Back here on the Deen Show with Daniel. Daniel, my brother. See, people, they don't understand that there's a brotherhood here. We worship one God. Him alone, not what he created. And we pray together. We fast together. We do good things together. And we're brothers. Correct. Isn't it? You could be from China. You could be from Japan. You could be from Puerto Rico. And we come together in Islam and we're brothers. Isn't that beautiful?
Yep.
Yeah, so again, I'm excited that you're here with us. Now, before we get into this Islam, where you took a turn and simply for our brothers in humanity, the not yet Muslims, I call them, people who potentially, like all of us, have this ability to submit to God. And this is what Islam is calling you to submit to the one God, not to a man or a woman, not to a messenger or a saint, but the one God who created all these things. Isn't that right?
Yep.
So tell us now, before you took a turn in this beautiful direction, again, you were experiencing everything that the average person was experiencing. Was there any joy, fulfillment, peace in any of these things that you were experiencing?
See, the one of the things that I would ask myself when I got into this group, I began to ask myself, what's my purpose in life? So I would say, okay, I'm gonna make money. So then I will go down that route, trying to make as much money as I can. The quicker the better. So then I ended up having money, but still not being content. So then I said, if I find a partner, I might be happy. So I go in here and, start going, and I was raised with my parents, and my parents, they showed me a model. And when I see that what the Prophet taught us how to be a husband is similar to the way my dad dealt with my mom. They were married 30 plus years. So I saw this. So whenever I tried to have a girlfriend, I felt that this wasn't right. I wanted marriage. I wanted something like real, but I said, I want that feeling. So I began going with girls, and I still didn't feel content. Then I said, then
no
what
peace
is it?
and happiness.
No peace and happiness. No, always saying, okay, then let me just be loyal with my friends and have fun, play basketball, hang out in the streets after basketball, let's go, like drink some 40s and so on. And still, at the end of the day, wasn't happy.
Dead end every time?
There was always a limit. The happiness is like an illusion.
Yeah.
Like
chasing a mirage.
Yeah, it's chasing a mirage, exactly. So then I began to, being in this group, some members will do things and still represent or carry like the uniform of the whole organization. Then they end up giving us a bad name. So all of a sudden I'm coming out of my house and the cops come and snatch me up, put me in the car, come with us. I'm like, what did I do? I just woke up. Oh, you robbed this house. I said, I just woke up.
So they did it, you didn't do it,
yeah, so
but you're getting pinned because of your friends, because you're hanging with them. You're associated, you're affiliated with these bad elements, and now it's coming back on you.
So sometimes, there will be, robbery will take place. Sometimes just for fun, okay, let's say somebody, we want to take something from someone, we'll do it. But whenever that was done, I always felt guilty. I always felt like, if I take this person's money, that could be for their family, that could be for their kids. So I always felt guilty, And then I began asking myself, what is going to happen today? Am I going to die today? am I going to go to jail today? You know, is my mother going to get hurt as she's walking with me just because I got a label and others are misrepresenting this group? You know, and then it became like a majority. And then the people that I trusted,